Toan decided to let go. The truth behind makes everyone shocked. Toan silently looked at Tien standing in front of him. His eyes were full of torment and regret. Finally, after so much effort, after many times of holding on, he decided to let go. Tien, I can't go on anymore. Toan's voice dropped. Every word is like a knife cutting into my heart. Tien was surprised. She never thought that one day Toan would give up so easily. Aren't you always the steadfast one? Is the one who defies everything to keep his love? Or what? Toan, why? What happened? Toan did not answer immediately. He bowed his head. Hand-clenched eyes flashed a ray of pain. Finally, he said slowly, "There are things you shouldn't know. But if I knew the truth, maybe I will never forgive you." A chill ran down Tien's spine. What is the truth that all are talking about? Is it related to you? To Jack, or some secret that has never been revealed? The truth behind makes everyone shocked. In just one evening, everything turned upside down. Events that seemed to have passed. Buried secrets suddenly exposed. Jack the Baptist and all around. We're all caught up in an unexpected truth. So what is the truth? And how Tien reacted when he knew everything would turn out. Unfinished words. Tien felt her heart tighten when hearing Toan's sorrowful voice. Shock was evident in her eyes. What are you talking about? Why can't I know? All was silent for a long time. Finally, he smiled faintly, but there was no joy in his eyes. Because you did it wrong from the start, and I have the right not to forgive you. Having said this, Toan turned and left. He didn't want to see her questioning eyes. I also don't want her to see my weakness right now. But when he had just taken a few steps, Tien's voice rang out with determination. If you don't make it clear, I won't let you go. Toan stopped. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. When he turned back, his voice dropped. Okay, if you want to know the truth, then prepare yourself. Shocking secret. And looked straight into Tien's eyes and slowly said each word. Do you remember the accident 7 years ago? Tien paused. Of course she remembers. It was a terrible accident. Caused a man to lose his life. And changed the lives of many people. You mean Jack's dad's accident? She asked with a trembling voice. Toan nodded. He clenched his hands, trying to control his surging emotions. The person behind the accident was his mother. The words struck like thunder, leaving Tien speechless. No way. She shook her head repeatedly as if she couldn't believe her ears. But Toan did not stop. He continued. She drove drunk. But because the power is in the hands of the family, he hid the truth. Blame an anonymous person. Everyone thought it was a normal accident, but it is actually a crime. Tien stood frozen. She never thought the truth would be so terrible. Toan, why did you just tell me now? Toan closed his eyes and smiled bitterly. Because I love you, and I'm selfish. I don't want you to leave me because of this truth. Tien felt her body tremble. She couldn't believe the man in front of her, the person who always cares and protects her, is hiding such a cruel secret. If Jack knew about this, how would he react? Between love and truth, Tien took a step back. Her heart was filled with conflict. One side is love for Toan. One side is the painful truth, related to leading the person she loves. Do you ever regret it? Toan was silent for a long time, then nodded slightly. There is so many, so what are you going to do? Tightly clasped hands, eyes determined. I will confess everything. Let Jack know the truth, and so I don't have to suffer anymore. This time, it was Tien's turn to be shocked. If you do that, your mother will. I know I'll cut in firmly, but this is what you have to do. Between love and truth, I chose to let go. But will his decision change everything? And when Jack finds out the secret, where will things go? Face to face with Jack, Toan walked out of his office. With a heavy heart, he knew that this decision would change everything. Not just my life, but also his relationship with Jack and Tien. But this is what you have to do. That evening, I made an appointment to meet Jack at a quiet cafe. When Jack arrived, his eyes were still cold as ever. What are you doing here? Probably asked in a tone that was not sympathetic. Took a deep breath and said slowly, I have something to tell you. A truth that I have hidden for the past 7 years. Jack raised an eyebrow but still didn't seem to concern. I don't have time for nonsense. CEO Toan, this is about your dad. Jack immediately became tense. He put the coffee cup down on the table, sharp eyes staring at everything. Speak clearly. Toan clenched his fist, as if mustering up the courage to speak the truth. The person who caused the accident that year was not an unknown person. That the police announced. That's my mother. Space seems to stop. Jack was stunned, his eyes flashing with anger. What? I could feel a strong pressure radiating from Jack. But he continued. She drove drunk. My family used power to cover up the truth. Push the blame on an innocent person. Jack stood up, his eyes red with anger. Are you kidding me? Toan still sat looking straight into Jack's eyes. I'm not kidding. I have checked all the records again. Found evidence that my family had arranged everything. If you want, I will give it all to you. I will bring my mother to justice. Jack gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. He couldn't believe what he just heard. Over the years, he always thought that the accident was an accident, a random misfortune. But it turns out the truth is much more cruel. You think, just tell me the truth and I will forgive you. Jack said in a low voice. Toan shook his head. No, I don't expect you to forgive me. I just want you to know the truth and decide what to do. Jack smiled coldly, but his eyes were filled with pain. What will I do? Let me tell you, I will not let this sink in again. After saying that, he probably turned around and left, leaving Toy sitting there alone. When Tien heard that Jack knew the truth, she immediately ran to find him. But when we got there, she saw Jack standing silently by the roadside. Empty eyes. Jack called softly. He turned to look at her, but his eyes were cold as ice. Tien, you knew this before, right? Tien bit her lip. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed. Jack, I just found out recently, and I was just as shocked as you. Jack smiled faintly. So why don't you tell me? She was silent. She had no answer. Jack looked at her for a long time, then turned and walked away. Jack listened to me. Tien ran to hold his hand. Jack stopped but did not turn around. His voice was low but full of pain. Whose side are you on, Tien? The question left her speechless. Toan has decided to let go. Tay is probably drowning in hatred. What should I do? Continued. The decision of the immortal. Tien held Jack's hand tightly, but he gently removed it, his eyes full of hurt. Jack, I'm not on anyone's side. I just want you to calm down. Jack smirked, but his eyes contained deep pain. Calm down after knowing this truth. What do you want me to do? Forgive me. Tien shook her head, her voice trembling. No, I just want you to think carefully. If you want to sue her, I won't stop you. But I don't want you to be swallowed by hatred. Jack was silent. He was not one to be swayed. But when faced with Tien's sincere eyes, I feel my heart waver. I need Tom. Jack said, then turned and left. Tien looked at his back, her heart filled with worrying. She knew Jack wouldn't let this go. But if you get caught up in the cycle of revenge, is he still the Jack she loves? 2 days later, Jack appeared at Toan's office. He threw a file on the table. Tien hears all the evidence of the accident. I will bring it to court. Toan lifted the file up, looked it over, and nodded. I predicted this. Jack frowned. Aren't you going to stop me? Toan put the documents on the table with a calm look. I told you I don't expect your forgiveness. I just want the truth to come out. If my mother makes a mistake, she must take responsibility. Jack clenched his fists. Unexpected. Toan accepted this so easily. You really think to let your mother go to court will help you make up for your mistakes? Toan looked at Jack, his voice lowered. No, but it's the only thing I can do. Jack smiled faintly. Then you prepare to go. I will not stop you. Toan said nothing, just silently watched Jack's back. He knew this battle was inevitable. Tien found Toan right after Jack left. Are you really going to let Jack see your mother? Toan looked at her with a bit of tired eyes. The law needs to be fair, Tien. She bit her lip, her hands clenched into fists. But do you think about the consequences? It will not stop. He can destroy his whole family. Toan closed his eyes and slowly said, if that's what he wants, I'll accept it. Tien shook her head, tears falling down. I don't want this to happen. Toan looked at her deeply and then smiled subtly. Tien, are you worried about Jack or about me? She bit her lip and did not answer. Toan stepped closer to her, his voice lowered. If you really want to stop this, there is only one way. Tien looked up at him. How? And looked deep into her eyes and said slowly, stay with me. Tien was stunned. Her heart stopped beating. He continued. If you choose me, I will have a reason to protect my mother. I will have reason to stop. Tien took a step back. She couldn't believe that he would set such a condition. Are you forcing me? Toan smiled lightly, but his smile was full of bitterness. Or not. I'm just giving you a choice. The decision is yours. Tien stood there, her heart in turmoil. If she was with Toan, can she stop Jack and save Toan's family? But if she did, she would lose Jack forever. What will she choose?